Holy cow. Okay, so this is how I work now. I now just do straight to YouTube Live, apparently, and we'll see how it takes from there. Hi, guys, I'm Mike Killen from SellYourService.co.uk, and today I want to talk to you about the world's fastest pricing formula. If you've ever struggled with the idea of knowing what it is that you should charge for your services, whether it's a marketing funnel, whether it's a marketing services, full-blown automation program, consultation, whatever it is, all you need to know is this crazy simple pricing formula. So the first thing you're going to need to know is how much does it cost you? That's all you need to know. So let's say that you've got a customer and you head to that customer and they say, hey, I really want to, check, I really want to, have this automation service that builds out all these kind of different bits and pieces. You go, wicked, okay. You know exactly what they need, okay? Because you are an expert, you've gone away and you've listed out what it is that they want, the results they want, and then you've started to having a look at what it is that actually needs to get done, what needs to get built. And the way that you do that is by going away, using your expertise and building out what it is that that person needs. What you're then going to do is find out how much that costs you. That's all you're going to do is you're going to find out how much that costs you. For example, let's say you find a marketing funnel builder and you've got a process to build it out and take it and you know that you've spoken to this partner. They said, yeah, we can do this, all of this stuff for $3,000 or $4,000 or whatever it is. The price that you need to charge your customer is 3 times that. Okay, 3 times. 1, 2, 3. 3x is the world's most simple pricing formula. Okay, whatever it costs you, times it by 3 and pass that on to the customer. Here's why this works. Price times 3, as in your price times 3, builds in all the things that you need, such as margin. It builds in profit. It builds in tax. It builds in all the individual pieces that you need for your business to be able to make a profit. If you've got someone else who's able to deliver the work and you have on one side and you have a customer with defined needs on the other, by approaching your customer and saying, hey, that sounds great. We can absolutely get these results for you. All you need to do is pay $10,000. That means that you've worked out that your delivery costs are roughly $3,200. One of the big pitfalls that people fall into with this formula is, particularly in our industry when it comes to building marketing funnels, is they'll say, okay, well, the plugin costs me $200 and the theme costs me another $200 and the hosting is going to be $100 a month, so that's $1,200 in total, plus a few extra plugins at around $200. So let's say it rounds it out to a total of $2,500. The problem you'll face, and this is what a lot of people do, is they then go, well, my costs times 3 then are 2,500 times 3, which is, what's that, 7,000? 7,500? So $2,500, that's what it costs you apparently. So you walk away and you say to the customer, yeah, this will be $7,000. The problem is that that's not your cost, is it? The cost is also your time to put it together, the knowledge it's taken you to get there in the first place, your putting together of the deal, the talking to the actual customer, putting together a proposal, walking them through that process. It's not as simple as being able to just go ahead and it's not as simple as being able to just say, okay, well, this is physically what it costs me in terms of material. You also have to build in your time, your labor, your knowledge, your expertise. Where costs comes into play is if you were delivering it just to yourself, what would you need to pay in order to get this project off the ground? Which is often why a customer will come to me and they'll say, we've got a budget of this much, and I know instantly whether I can do it or not because I happen to know whether, if I divide that price by 3, let's say they say, we've got a budget of $12,000, I'll think, well, could I do this for $4,000? Could I hire somebody else to do this for $4,000? And sometimes I just can't. I physically am not able to find anyone to do it for me. So instead, we'll turn them away and say, really sorry. What we can do is work out, and we'll work out what we can get them for $4,000. 2 big things. First of all, your customers don't need to know what you're buying it for. They are coming to you because they want you to solve a problem. They don't want you to say, oh, this only cost me $4,000 and we're just charging a margin on top. Instead, you are converting $4,000 into a solution that's completely applicable for their business. You're going to be managing it. You're making sure it happens. It's your expertise. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. This is literally how every single product and service in the world is priced and serviced. Costs times 3 is a very simple model for you to use as a funnel builder to be able to start pushing out those products and having those prices available to customers. It also means that when you go back and do something like the $25,000 drop, the 25K drop exercise, you can divide that by 3 and say to yourself, okay, well, I now know that I've got roughly $8,000 to spend on an expert who can help me with this process. Now, to say to someone, yeah, I reckon I can go ahead and do this for $8,000. Hey, James in Dubai, how you doing? If you can do this for $8,000, that's what's going to help you go ahead and deliver this to the customer. As soon as you're doing the work, it instantly becomes unprofitable. So that's one way of looking at it, is if you do the 25K drop and then you decide that you're going to divide that into 3, 1/3 of that's going to go to your costs. Roughly everything else is going to be taken care of by your customers. The second thing is, if you are open and honest with your supplier and you say to them, yeah, do you know what? You're going to be doing this project for someone else. We're working with them. They don't need to know the budget. They need to know what they're going to get. They need to know their budget. They don't need to know the whole budget. That's not withholding information. It's just irrelevant. They just don't need to know that. By developing partnerships with people who can deliver the work for you and who do want to build out email funnels, automation sequences, landing pages, squeeze pages, all these kinds of things, and you say to them, hey, I've got a budget of $4,000. I want to employ you solidly for a month just to work on this process. They'll be very, very happy for you to do that. They'll also potentially, there's a goddamn bee there. They're also going to begin to build out this relationship with you. That means that eventually you'll have longer term partnerships with these guys, and actually they'll be able to deliver more for the same budget. There's absolutely nothing wrong with building out relationships with customers and passing that on. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It used to be that manufacturing is kind of the only real industry that was available. We're talking a few years ago now, but that was basically it. They would realize, well, it costs us, this much money to get the coal in. It costs us this much money to hire these people. How much does that cost us? Great, times that by 3 and pass that on to the customer. That's as basic as it needs to get. If you've got a consultation program as well, or a sales program, work out what it costs you. And you think, okay, well, it's going to cost me $1,000 to hire this person for the week to consult this company and to run through our qualification process and our discovery process. So therefore, the company needs to pay $3,000 in order for me to be able to facilitate someone going through that and make sure that they're happy with the process. That's basically it. That's all it needs to be, is costs times 3. So I want you to look at this from 2 angles. First of all, when you're speaking with a customer and they go through a process with you and they say, we want this, we have these needs, we have these wants, for you to be able to turn around and go, that's fantastic, not a problem, we can deliver this. Work out what that's going to cost you to get off the ground. Some people will want to be employed for a month, 2 months, just on one project, and you can say to them, hey, how much is it going to cost you to be employed for 2 months straight to work on this project? Or how much is this particular team or white labeling service, for example, how much is this going to cost you? Turning that around and saying, cool, well, whatever they say, let's say it's $3,000, they say they can build it in a month, and then you can pass that on as $10,000 to the customer. James says, so basically 3x your cost, and you would source these freelancers, people online. That's 100% it, James. That's basically as complex as it needs to get. It doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. Often we find that a lot of these guys are available. They have a process where they'll just build a squeeze funnel, or they'll just build an opt-in funnel or a sales funnel, or they'll just build email automation. Or we'll even say to someone, hey, we have a project that we believe will take 30 hours or 10 hours or whatever it is, and we've got a budget of $3,000, and we'll look for leads and look for staff members and team members and outsource members who want to then bid on that job. So that's a really easy way to do it, is to list out how much it's going to cost you and then find someone who can do it for whatever price, list out how much that's going to cost you, times it by 3. The other way is by flipping that 25K drop method. I've got a few other videos where I say, rather than thinking about what should I charge for this delivery, think about what should I deliver for this price, and say to yourself, I want to charge $25,000 for every single project. I want to charge 25K. What am I going to deliver? The easiest way to understand that is to list out all the things you reckon you would deliver, you would give for 25K. If someone put 25K into your account, and say to yourself, okay, well, they'd get access to me for 6 months. They would have, a series of different pages. We would build out their sales funnel, their automation sequences, their campaigns, a webinar funnel, things like that. But then look at all of that stuff and think, could I get someone else to build that for me for $8,000? If you can get someone else to build that for you for $8,000, you're onto a winner. Because all you need to do now is find customers with a 25K budget, and they are out there. There's millions of them out there. And from that, you're essentially able to say to yourself, okay, well, I know I can get someone else to do it for me, and and that's kind of done. That's taken care of. That's kind of how you begin to scale and outsource. Does your course assist in building out these drops? Yes, we absolutely do. Yeah, James. We've got a couple of courses. The first one is on building marketing automation funnels using Beaver Builder and ActiveCampaign. So that's specifically that's a hyper specific stack. We take you through 5 different courses, and I can even, I'm sure, bring that up. James, do you subscribe to my email list, or maybe I'll drop you a link? Maybe I've got your profile here. That's an interesting point, James. This is my first live stream, so I'm kind of trying to figure out how you do some of this stuff. So we have got a course that basically takes people just through that process on how to build out those things. But also we have a coaching program which allows you to build out those processes. How to sell your service.co.uk. It'll be under my programs. Here we go. Learn how to build funnels for customers. Here we go. I'll copy that. Cool. I'm putting that in. There you go. That's in the channel. There we go. Cool. All right, guys. Thank you very much for your time. I will speak to you later. Thanks very much for kind of hanging out on my first live stream. I'm kind of still figuring out how I can use this thing. I'm actually using my new Video Mic Micro from Rode, which seems to be doing an awesome job. In the meantime, guys, I will see you later. No worries. You're very welcome, James, and I will speak to you later. Cheers, guys. Bye now. Keep building those funnels.